What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 68 of Park to Prem here with Town or Town. Today, we're going to start on this, but before we get into the episode, just a heads up, there was an upload earlier on today, so maybe this is the first video of mine you're watching here on the channel on this day. Make sure to go check out the earlier game. It was the EFL Trophy Final, yes, and we also had a really good youth intake, so there's lots to be seen in that, but today we shift our focus, and well, we can start here, where, well, the takeover that we left impending has not happened. It was a fan trust, which would have been really interesting if we could have gone and become a fan-owned club. I would have loved that in many ways, although I do kind of secretly like also having a tycoon, but the takeover's not happened. It has collapsed. So, yeah, Alexander Mutkin, he is still our chairman. And if you look here, he apparently loves the club, although we've been under takeovers twice in the last 2 years, so whether or not you can believe that, I'm not entirely sure. Worth noting just here, Dylan Turnbull is listed now as our hot prospect, which is interesting because he was obviously the pick of the bunch, in my opinion, of our youth intake, so the game clearly agrees with me, which is reassuring, I guess, to say the least. Of course, when we left things last episode, it was all a little bit up in the air in terms of when were we going to be back. I'll tell you now, folks, it's the playoffs, and we've known that for a little while. We kind of knew in our heart of hearts that nothing beyond the playoffs was possible. We've been drawn against Shrewsbury. We, of course, have got 2 legs to play today. We're going to be starting away from home, and then we're going to be taking them on at home. You can see recent form for both teams a little inconsistent. And, well, let's have a quick look at the league table, and then we'll have a look at our form to end the year. As I mentioned, we've kind of known our fate for a little while. We sit on 80 points, which is 11 points behind Northampton in the end, 20 points behind Charlton, who are just far too good for this division, as we've learnt. And you can see joining us in the playoffs, we have Sheffield Wednesday, MK Dons and Shrewsbury, all teams that we have beaten at some point this year. I am going to omit from admitting to the fact we did lose to Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 not that long ago. Their recent form, not particularly good, although that kind of applies to all the teams towards the top. In fact, when you look at it, you'd say we are the informed playoff team going into the playoffs. So anyway, just a quick look at the fixtures since you were last here. Of course, that EFL Trophy where we left things. We have played, as you can see, 6 games in the league. We started off with a defeat against Bradford. Good to see Leighton Stewart get a goal, but that was kind of all there was to sing about. We then took on Luton. Andre Dizelle had a very good performance, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. 2-2 it finished. We did bounce back well. Again, Dizelle, another top performance for us. In this game, you can see a 4-1 win against Shrewsbury, who we take on today. Let's enjoy the highlights, shall we? A real variety of goal scorers. Dizelle got us off to a flyer. Leighton Stewart has just found some form as of late, which you absolutely love to see. Obviously, scored last episode in the final on off the bench. Off the back of that, I've given him a run of starts, and he really has rewarded that faith in him. Kosic, we'll come on to in a second, has just been scoring goals for fun, and it was good to see DKM get on the score sheet as well. We did unfortunately concede late on, but as you can see, looking at the stats in the bottom left corner, it was a good display by us, but 4-1 perhaps flattered us just a little bit, but maybe a little confidence booster going into the game against them today. Anyway, we then took on Charlton. As I said, they're kind of in a league of their own. They beat us 3-1. It was convincing. They've got 100 points this season. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. We then took on MK Dons, who are in the playoff semi-finals, in the other semi-final, taking on Sheffield Wednesday. We spanked them, and it came courtesy of Vinko Kosic and a hat-trick. His first 2 goals came in the space of 2 minutes. 2 set pieces. We really have been making a lot of our set pieces this year. Dizelle with some terrific deliveries into the box. Kosic then scored from the penalty spot. This man has just been in form, and he's been improving as well. I am very excited for what he could offer us, and he's kind of found form at the right time. 8 goals for him in 10 league starts and 1 appearance off the bench. That is very clinical and bodes well. I'm hoping he's going to be a difference maker. You'll notice here a recent discovery in his cons, however, is that he could have a real problem with injury. So let's hope that that isn't going to ruin his career, that he's not going to go down the route of Gareth Bale, and that he's going to be a solid and reliable player for us today. Anyway, in the last game of the year, we took on Hull City. I did consider rotating the team, considering the fact that the playoffs were following just a few days after this Hull City match. I ended up playing a full-strength team. I didn't want to rotate things. A convincing 3-1 win there, a good away result. And with that, I guess 1 defeat in the last 5 games and 3 wins in the last 4 really isn't that bad by our own standards. We've had really solid patches of form and then absolutely horrific patches of form. That's kind of been our season in a nutshell. If we could have maintained our good form throughout and consistently, we would be in a much better position. But we've sometimes had these situations where we've had 1 defeat and it spirals into another and then another. And to be fair, I don't feel like we've ever really had a settled 11 throughout this year. And I think that's kind of indicated by the fact that we have players on the bench who have started 30 plus games this year. The team that you can see on screen is the team that I've kind of settled on towards the end of the year when we found this form. You can see Dazelle, 17 assists, DKM with 11 assists and 13 goals as well. And, well, as I said, this is the team we've kind of settled on now. Of course, Smolio in goal, doing his thing. I would love to extend his loan, but it isn't going to happen, I don't think. So, and goalkeeper is on the shopping list for the summer. Right back, we've got Grant, of course, joined us in January, has played very, very well, a 7.22 average rating there. We then have Hugo, the big new addition from Portugal. He has made a really good initial impact at the club. When he joined us, we promised him we're going to get playoff football this year. We've lived up to that promise, which is a bit of a relief. Hopefully he's going to be the man to continue putting in fine form for us, alongside Embleton, who I am still monitoring the contract situation of. We could possibly look to sign him from Barnsley come the summer, or even pick him up on a free transfer. I do feel like he would be a good little squad depth signing for us. Anyway, at left back we've got James Morris, debatably the weak link in our back four, a fan favourite in his own right, and one of my personal favourites. But when you look across the back four, you would say the left-back position is an area of weakness. Moving up into the midfield, we're going to go with Needham alongside Dazelle. Needham and Liam Coyle have kind of battled for this position all year and not really impressed me, either of them. But in recent times, Needham has put in the better performances. I talked about the idea that I was thinking about doing it. I don't think I ever officially acknowledged it. But to start the year, we played with a ball-winning midfielder on defend here. In recent times, I have changed to a centre mid on defend, and I do feel like that's helped us out, and Needham's done well there. He's going to play alongside Andre Dazelle, who has just been absolutely superb. Last year, I was impressed with him. He put in good average ratings despite not getting the goals or assists to go with it. This year, he's got 6 player of the matches from deep line playmaker, 12 assists in the league in 29 games. He is a player we will look to today on the big stage to do it for us. DKM out on the left, has playoff experience for us, of course, joined us in the Vanarama League North. Only 4 goals and 8 assists in the league this year, has done better in the cup competitions, but in recent times has got some good performances for us, so we're going to go with him today. CC is going to play down the middle, has been attracting some interest, and I say some interest, I should say a hell of a lot of interest has CC. So we're going to go with him at centre attacking mid. He has bundles of energy and a hell of a lot of pace, and that's something that we have in abundance in our attacking midfielders. Kosic alongside him has just kind of fought his way into first team contention. 8 goals in 11 games, 3 player of the matches for the 18-year-old. He has been a real huge asset to the team since joining us in January upon turning 18. And up top, we're going to go with Stewart. And we're going to go with Stewart purely based off form. He has started to find goals in his last few games. Dimitri Sayer on the bench has not, to put it bluntly. He has fallen off a cliff. And this is, as I said, is a team that's kind of now started to settle its way in there. Michael Jacobs has been out with injury, so do anticipate him to come on certainly during this playoffs and hopefully have that desired impact for us. We've also got players like Shuttleworth who can really do a moment of magic, has a superb delivery into the box as well. Benny Nkololo, for a bit of experience, could come in to see a game out. He's got a long shot in him. If we're going into the dying embers of a game needing a long shot, he's the player we'll hope it falls to. Coyle, Rush and Gannon, the remaining players. Good coverage across the entire team. And on the whole, if we look at the last 5 games, the form is pretty solid through the team. A few players lacking a little, but this is the team we're going to go with and put some faith into. And well, with that, let's get into this. Starting this year, I believe our media prediction was 18th. We've gone above and beyond that. I feel like Kosic has really been a revelation this year. Dazelle has performed better than I could have ever imagined. You have to wonder, with the injuries that we had to some key players, where could we be if it hadn't been for them at a crucial point in the year? Andre, of course, missed a massive chunk at the start of the year. Since coming back, has been superb. And I'm hoping that we can take our end of season form into this game and just get the desired result. You saw before, we beat them 4-1 at home in the league. Of course, this is the first leg away from home. We want to start well, and in the last game we played against them, we really dominated possession. We will hope that that is to be repeated here. That's certainly, I'd say, the dream. You know, we want to be basically just dominating possession, dominating the game, and not letting them have a lot of the ball. Because if you don't have the ball, you can't score, everyone. I mean, you may have never heard that before, but that is a thing. Stuart heads it narrowly over the crossbar here. I'm nervous, everyone. I'm nervous. The game seems a little laggy, although it seems to have got better now. Hopefully that's not going to hang around. Not ideal on this big stage. DKM hits it, blocked. I thought for a second it was going to go sailing in. They could look to launch a counter, although Norris is there. He's lost his ginger hair. What's happened? He's dyed it. He's gone brunette. He's that sick of the haters that he's dyed his hair to disguise himself. It's the only logical explanation here. Why is the match engine so laggy? Is there anything I can do to help with that? I don't know if there is. I'm really sorry, folks, if it's annoying you. It's annoying me. We could go to 2D. Would that be a mad theory to go to 2D in the semi-final? Oh my God, Kosic is there. He's there and he's headed it in. Well, I mean, we'll take that. Norris with the assist as well. Take that, all you Norris haters. They're out in force. They maybe haven't recognised him. He can take off the wig now. On his weaker foot, whips it in. Kosic. Make that 9 goals in 12, ladies and gentlemen. He has found form for us, and we will hope that he can keep it up. Okay, the match engine feels smoother now. If it does get more janky, I'm going to switch to 2D. We're going to go retro. Kosic with it. You just anticipate magic when he's on the ball. Brings it forward here. I can't deal with it, everyone. We're going 2D. I know some people are going to hate this. And if it wasn't the playoff semi-final and I wasn't a goal up, I would probably just pause the recording, restart the game and hope that fixes the lagginess issue. As it is, we're going to 2D. Look at it. It's classic. It's retro. I used to play like this. I will restart the game between the two legs as Grant whips it in. No one's there. Great start for us, though. We're dominating the game, and that's all you can really ask for. I do feel like you get a better sense of how we play in 2D. Maybe that's just me, but there's something more visual about the 2D-ness. But it does feel less grounded in realism. Kosic, look at him go! In 2D, the number 53, and then he does that. I got carried away. I thought he was going to smash it into the top corner because he really has been that good for us. Some people were bigging him up in the comments of, you know, a few of the episodes where he first came into the first team, saying, you have to play him in every game. He's going to be insane. Make him realise his potential. I think we're making him realise his current ability, everyone. He has the ability of this division and beyond. And he has absolutely shown that so far in this game. Nice build-up play by us here. Hugo pumps the ball forward to Stuart. Not the best player in the air, but gets the flick onto Cece, who is quick. Breaks through. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. It's the Croatian connection up front. 2 Croatians getting the goals for us. You know, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they have Portugal. We, the mighty Taulor, we have Croatia. Stuart wins an unlikely header. Cece has just so much pace. Turns on the afterburners like a Harrier jet. I don't know if Harrier jets have afterburners, but he ploughs through the middle and tucks it into the bottom corner. A really good finish. Could we make it 3 before half-time? Ball whipped and Kosic is there again! I've gone very high-pitched there. I'm getting excited, everyone. Dizelle with the corner. And Andre does. I mean, Dizelle is my player of the year. He's been absolutely insane for us. His balls have been quality. And it's another set piece. And Kosic, I don't know what it is about him. He's not good in the air. He's not good at jumping. You know, he's not a headerer of the ball by any means. But on set pieces, he's just kind of lurking around, sniffing around for the ball to drop to his feet. And it's like he has his own magnetism, like to the football. It just falls to him. He's in the right place at the right time. Oh, could you have wished for a better start? I mean, maybe the 3D match engine running smoothly, I suppose. But it's 3-0. I'm on cloud 9, everyone. We do need to, try and defend now for the rest of this game. A clean sheet would be good. We went 4-0 up against them in the league and then conceded in the last minute. None of that today, please. Brooks whips it in. Cummings. Shot block, shot. Then falls back to Adore. We'll just call him Adore. That's unfortunate. He has his initial effort, and I think Smolio's committed to it from range, but it just gets blocked. Who does that hit in the head? I think it's Hugo. Hugo is just a giant centre-back with a bold patch at the age of 23. I don't know how to feel about Hugo, because he is quite a mentally switched-on player, but I feel like Hugo, when it's like a giant character, it kind of, in my head, and this is terrible to stereotype tall people called Hugo, but I imagine kind of slightly clumsy, you know the character I'm kind of thinking of, like the giant gingerbread man in Shrek, like giant, kind of not particularly kind of switched on necessarily. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think you know what I mean. Let's just move on, shall we? We're winning 3-1. It's gone to my head, everyone. Hugo, he's not necessarily switched on, but he gets his head on everything and just loves a tackle, basically. Just a physical titan in the box, the number 49. Maybe he needs number 49 for the rest of his career, although if they score again here, it kind of changes the tide, doesn't it? 3-1 would be a very, very good performance. 3-2 doesn't feel quite so impressive. They've now got a set piece here. Brooks to shoot. Goes narrowly wide of the post. That scared me a little bit. Minutes of added time here trickling away. I mean, we will hope that we don't concede here. Hugo with it. Don't do anything brain dead. Don't play into the stereotype, Hugo. Dezel to Kosic, who is through. He has sprung the offside trap. Can he finish it? Oh, it would have been a hat-trick. It's saved away. 3-1 is still a great result, but there could be more defending needed with just over a minute left in this game. Norris has gone flying in there. Surely that's not a red card. It didn't look bad, ref, in 2D. If he was to get sent off, it would be Needham who comes in, but we are going to have to defend a set piece at the very least. He's not getting sent off, but there is 50 seconds left in this game, and they have a set piece. They are committing a lot of men forward. Oh, it's an interesting routine. I think it's blocked by their own player who was stood offside, and I think that will be the last action of the game. I hope it's the last action of the game, because it's in our half, and I don't feel comfortable with this. Embleton, I mean, if we score again, I won't complain. Get there, Kosic. We're not going to score again. It's the pointless highlight at the end. But we win 3-1. What a result that is. I'm very happy. Very, very happy indeed. That is exactly what we needed. In the other game, MK Dons and Sheffield Wednesday drew 2-2. And, well, we have the upper hand. The second leg is only a few days away. So I am going to rest all the players. I'm going to go and restart my game. Hopefully 3D is running smoothly for the second leg, we can hope. Yeah, well, don't go anywhere. It's all going to kick off. They're getting a rest. We'll be back in just a moment. So we are back. It's the 9th of May. It's only a few days since the last leg, but we have the second leg to play here against Shrewsbury. But before we get into it, I feel like we have to just sit and savour the profile of Vinko Kosic, who has been our saviour of sorts. I was just now, before I hit start record, admiring his development since he joined us on his trial years ago now, almost 2 years ago. About a year and a half of development shown here. This is crazy, crazy growth. This guy could be absolutely insane. So, as you can imagine, I'm quite excited by how much he is tearing things up right now in League One. He is listed as a championship level player, Premier League winger in the future. I feel like he's just come out of nowhere, really. I was not as excited about him as I was about Mr. Dessa, for example, who I'm still very excited about, and you can see here is still getting a hell of a lot of development. If we just look at his all-time development, it's not even that dissimilar. The trialists who we are signing, who can't join until they turn 18, are still developing, which is a little bit surprising, I guess. But at the same time, we're not going to complain one little bit. You may have caught wind of some new names here. Shvetsov had an offer from Cincinnati. I rejected it. I told them he's not for sale. I set an asking price of 15 million. I have tried to loan him out a few times. No one's nibbling right now. We will hope that we can get a work permit for him. Just real quick, we'll have a look at the players we've agreed to sign ahead of schedule. Mike Richards is going to join us from Chelsea. I like the look of this guy. Maybe not an immediate first-team player, but definitely one for the future. He is a freebie. Two other freebies. We've got Eddie Jamieson, is going to join us from Liverpool's under-23s. He looks like he could be a prospect for the future. And also Wayne Hall. Really surprised that Norwich City decided not to offer this guy a senior deal. He looks very, very good at centre-back. Just a put it kind of into comparison a little, if we just compare him to Embleton here is a head-to-head. Wayne Hall is 3 years his junior, and you would say on the face of it is the better player. So I think we might have got some really, really good additions to the team, even if his potential isn't that crazy at 18 years old. Very, very low risk. Anyway, we weren't here for the transfers. We're here for the second leg. 3-1 up after it. We're now going into the game at home. We've had a little bit of time to recover. No new injuries to speak of, which is fantastic. So with that in mind, I think we're just going to play the same team again. I feel like we have to. Also, is this line new? I don't think that was there for the first leg. Kosic and Grant, they're bonding. An unlikely duo. It's like Lady and the Tramp, except it's Kosic and Grant. It's not quite as catchy, is it? It's close. Maybe they'll be having spaghetti bolognese together after we make it through to the final. Or should I say, if we make it through to the final. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but let's be honest. We've put ourselves in a really, really good position here to go out there and get a result in this second leg. I do want to check, actually, before we do actually play this game. And I think I already know the answer. I don't think away goals count here, but as a bitter Liverpool fan, off the back of our defeat to Atleti, it feels like we should check. Extra penalty, extra time if the scores are level. Yeah, no away goals, that's fine. That's what I thought it was going to be. Let's see how we get on, shall we? Grant getting a booking early on is a bit of a concern. I did consider dropping him for Rush just because of his condition not being that good, and I have restarted the game, so I think if we go back to director, the game should play back smoothly. Oh my word, that's a red card. CC, you are a tool. You are an absolute tool. What have you done? What have you done? I don't want to change things too drastically. When this has happened before, I've pretty much done the change you see here. We've dropped one of the centre mids, or the deep line playmaker centre mid on to defend and kept the two wide men up top. I think I'm just going to go with this and hope it's good. That is, it's a moment of stupidity. He scored in the first leg and then he gets sent off with that tackle in the 13th minute of this leg. He's not going to be available for the final if we make it there, but that's really the least of my concerns right now. We are a man down with another 80 minutes of this semi-final to play, and there is a highlight playing out here, and I'm terrified Shrewsbury are about to score. And one moment of madness could cost us massively here. Brooks inside to Westwood, who hits it and scores. It goes from bad to worse. Oh, that is... If our season gets undone by that red card... I'm glad we switched into 3D to witness the tackle. Defensively all over the shop there, though. Westwood, nice finish into the bottom corner. Smolio, not the best attempt of a save, but we won't hold it over his head. That is concerning. I want to, stick with what we're doing here. As I said, this is the change. When we've had a player sent off in recent games and throughout this year and last year, I've just dropped the centre attack in mid completely, and I felt like the inverted winger and the inside forward on either side were frequently enough drifting inside to support the attacker. And we didn't lose too much in a defensive aspect because the centre attacking mid doesn't do much defending anyway. We'll have to see how it plays out here. The good news is, despite going a man down, we do still have a lot of possession here. And while DKM, back to Dazelle, this is where we're going to have an issue, I think, getting that killer pass through. We're going to need to really work the overlaps in the wide areas. That's where I think we can actually overload teams. Needham, what a ball to DKM. Cuts inside, hits it. Oh, if he scores that, we're having a massive party. Unfortunately, it just goes wide of the post. This is going to be a long second leg, folks. I can already feel it creeping in. Hugo with the header. Now just get it away. Lumps it forward. That'll do me. Where's DKM to chase onto it? He's not there. It goes all the way back to the keeper. Hoping for a Football Manager match-engine calamity in our favour. Oh my, I thought it was going to happen. I thought Kosic was going to get the ball kicked at his head and it was going to go in. As it stands, Cummings trying to get the ball forward for them. Now with Mail. It's not an imaginative name for the child, is it? Oh my gosh, they've actually scored. I was going to make a joke about how Mail was probably, brought out the womb and they went, it's a boy, and they went, his name's Mail. But that wouldn't really work because Mail is his last name. It's 2-0 here. Forgive me for going off on a tangent. My head is spaghetti right now. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Smolio comes out for the one-on-one. It just ricochets between him and the attacker. Squirms away. And the attacker's able to score, and it's 3-3 on aggregate with an hour left. And I don't want to pin the blame on any one individual, but there's an individual who I'm staring at and considering blaming. They have a chance here. We've dominated the ball as well. They hit it. Oh my! If that goes in, I just walk away from my keyboard. We're having a lot of possession and are having shots. It's actually been surprisingly 50-50 on everything but the scoreline. Not the best performance by Leighton Stewart. We've got, obviously, Sia on the bench. We've got Jacobs coming back from injury. Shuttleworth another option. I have noticed that DKM not having the best game out on the left, although we're asking a lot of our attacking players now. The issue I've got is it's a very 50-50 game. I don't really want to go more defensive and just risk us having pressure piled on top of us. At the same time, however, I think I'm going to tell the players not to distribute it to defenders and work the ball out the back, just because we're going to be lacking that link-up man. There's going to be one less player for them to pass to. The attacking midfielder really just dropping from time to time to offer a ball that we no longer have. And I don't really want to have defenders stuck with possession. But it's tricky. It's a really tricky situation, this, because you go a man down with this much time left. There's so much time to try and delay. In terms of changes here, do I want to bring in the experience of Benny? Part of me is tempted to, you know. I might bring in Benny and Kololo, which might seem odd because we have got Shuttleworth and Jacobs on the bench, but I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm sorry, DKM, you've not impressed me in this game. I feel like we need a bit of experience to steady the ship. Again, looking at the stats, you would not know that we're a man down and that we were 2-0 down if this was the way it was going to play out. I can't work out if it's a good thing or a bad thing we've not had a highlight in the second half, although I may well have just jinxed it. Ball whipped in, header. They score. I want to pray for an offside, but it's not coming. It's not coming. It's 3-0 Shrewsbury. And it's nothing short of a disaster, folks. The issue now is we have to go on the front foot. We have to go and attack. And that is a tall order for us in our current predicament. In terms of what I want to change, what do I change here? I can't overcommit men forward, but at the same time we've got to change some stuff. You know, we've got to, I guess, get the ball out quickly, out of possession. Let's just press as hard and as high as we can and engage high up the pitch, I think. But it's not even tough anymore. It feels just a little impossible, you know? I'll tell the players to get more direct. We're now on very attacking. We're a man down. I could still make some subs, I suppose. Let's have a look. Who could we sub? I need to wait for the highlight to play out, I think, and the previous tactical change to take effect. Benny heads it down. I mean, we haven't even switched to very attacking yet, but we need to do something here. Westbrook would bring the ball forward for them. That is a great tackle by Norris. Can the tactical change happen, please? Thank you. Right. Subs. I am going to make a controversial call here. Dezella's not been good enough. I'm bringing in Shuttleworth for the last few minutes of this game. I'm going to keep Kostic on the pitch. I'm going to take off Stewart, and I'm going to bring in Dimitri Sia. Do I do that? Actually, no. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring in Jacobs, and I'm going to play him. I think I've got to throw him forward, haven't I? I've got to throw a man forward to try and make something happen here. It's going to be tricky. I don't want to say it's near impossible, but it does feel a little like that at this point. I'm not sure if Jacobs is even the right man here. Let's just undo the changes, Jack. Don't do anything rash just yet. I'm going to bring in Shuttleworth and play him at centre mid, I think, actually. And we're going to go with the double playmaker, but I'm going to tell Dazelle to go on attacking. Just such little time left in this game. I am going to take off Stewart. I'm going to bring in Sia. He's been awful lately. I was expecting big things when he joined us in December. Let's see if he can show us some big things here. We need a goal. The reason I didn't go with the other change that we were kind of theorising is if we were to get the goal, I don't have a second centre mid on the pitch to play alongside. And the very most we can really hope for at this point is that we get a goal here and take it to extra time. And having one centre mid on the pitch, not a bright idea. Anyway, I don't know if this is a long highlight because I made a change or if there is something about to happen. We will, of course, hope that it's not going to be a shot in our direction. Kosic here. We need a moment of magic from the 18-year-old. He's been a revelation this year. Stewart, all on his lonesome, gives it to Nkololo, who can hit them from range. I wanted to believe. There is 10 minutes left. One last shouty for the season. There's no time. The time is just trickling away and nothing is happening. We have a minute and a half, but the ball is deep in our half. They are on the attack. We are gambling men forward at this point. Oh, they've got a man over on this right-hand side as well. It's Brooks. Lays it back to Meyer. Now all the way back to Williams. And it just feels like maybe our consecutive promotion run is about to come to a screeching halt, barring a miracle. And this highlight is not filling me with confidence that we are going to get the goal that we desperately need here. They are holding on to the ball well and knocking it around well, Shrewsbury. Westwood now with it. Shoots. Smolio holds on to it, but that was a good chance, and that was probably why we were shown that highlight. That feels awful. That feels absolutely awful. I don't even want to look at it. When you look at that, that's not a 3-0 scoreline. And we were down a man. Needham had 98% pass completion. That's why I played him ahead of Coyle, but... Oh, the CC sending off has completely thrown us there. And I just feel a little heartbroken. Banned for one match. I mean, fuck. Don't swear, Jack. Fine him 2 weeks' wages for that. He lost us that game. Lost us that game completely. And that really, really sucks. Really sucks. Oh, I can't get over how annoyed I am about that. I think that was his first red card of the year as well. Yeah, it was. It wasn't even like he has a reputation for it. That bad aggression and bad decision making. Actually, he's okay decision making, but that bad aggression and that competitive streak. That could be a thing to be aware of for the future, I suppose. But I don't know what to say. I'm gutted that we've missed out on promotion. We finished third in the league. Great first year in League One. The run of consecutive promotions, though, is going to come to an end. Obviously, next episode will be the end of season livecom. We're going to try that new format that we did last year, so keep an eye out for that coming your way tomorrow. I know that on the earlier video today I mentioned maybe trying to get a double upload day happening. Obviously, I was kind of hoping we were going to get to the playoff final for that, because otherwise I've got to, for tomorrow, I've got to do the end of season livecom and get to the start of next season, which feels like a bit of a tall order. We'll see how we get on. I'm annoyed. I'm angry. I'm going to go and chill out. I'm going to go and cool down. Next time we'll be back for an end of season kind of retrospective look, a bit of a catch up. And we're going to have to look ahead. And I guess the one silver lining I have is we have an extremely young team. We have some very good players joining us. And I feel like, if anything, we're going to be a stronger team come next year. And in some ways, not getting promoted right away probably saves us from being absolutely annihilated in the Championship. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself to cheer myself up. Guys, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't deliver the promotion that you were all hoping for and perhaps expecting. We will hope that we can turn things around going into next year. I mean, he's wanted by a few clubs. Maybe I should sell him. Maybe I should sell him. I'll catch you next time. End of season review coming your way tomorrow. Thank you again for your support. And, well, that is all from me. I'm going to go cry. I'm going to go lay down. I'll see you soon. It's me, Jack. And I'm out.